Loss and pain, I think, drives you more than anything. And there's two ways you can go about it. Loss and pain can put you in a hole of being sad and depressed and being a victim, or loss and pain can actually drive you to win. And I think that, you know, the more sort of pain and loss you go through, it's like, that's going to be your biggest teaching point. And it's like, are you going to just live in that and just be a victim of that? Yeah. Or are you going to use that as energy to become an absolute fucking winner? I think that's ultimately, you've got a choice. And so for me, it's always been pain and loss that has driven me always to win, man. Always to want to win. That's my biggest motivator.
So it's reminds me of a bit like when people fall in love and some people don't recover. Do you know what I mean?
And you're talking about yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I did, I've gathered that XP.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I've leveled up. But at the time going through it, it's a real struggle.
It's hard, man.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got to use that energy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to go longer.
Yeah, long.
We're going to go longer.
I'm cutting you normal.
No. We still go.
In long time files big.
He's saying the file will be too big. He got to stop it and just start it.
Okay.
He got what you're saying.
Okay.
You got to, man.
You're good.
Beautiful. We are back.
You can go back to spilling out your soul, man.
So we're talking about recovery of your character. So like you go through like business breakdowns and it takes you a while to recover. Someone dies, you're mourning that person, you fall out of love with someone breaks your heart, it takes you time to recover. Some people heal and come back stronger, but some people don't. Some people have that hurt of the loss of the girlfriend or the loss of a business and they don't never start another business again. You with me? So like when my business went down about 2-3 years ago, it took me about a year to recover, to get my entrepreneur back on, because I was paralyzed and wounded, just cycling through it and ruminating about it, not moving on, not totally and accepting it. Right, that business served me at that time. It's not serving me right now. Let's move over. What are we gonna allow for something else to move in? What are we going to fill that gap with?
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, for me, maybe in 2000, what was the pandemic?
19.
19?
Yeah.
So around 19, I got out the military. I was like 7 years out. And then I was good. I was Gucci. I was winning. Yeah, mine was winning. So I thought, right? But all over the years, I had things like knives by my bed and all this other stuff. I thought it was normal. I still think it's normal to have a knife by the bed. But
you have what?
A knife.
A knife by the bed, yeah? And then girls used to be like, yeah, I always thought you were crazy. Like you had a knife underneath the bed.
I don't understand, but yeah.
Yeah.
Real nigga shit.
So, and then I would like, put things on the wall or the window to keep out the sun, and they're like, so I'm like, why did you stay at the house though if you thought I was crazy? But net later on, I had an incident during the pandemic. And then I was in the hospital and, the lady was like, I think you might have PTSD. And this was from the lady that was just like, a nurse. Because I had the gown? I had the gown on with my butt out. And then I was like, I'm not dying like this. I survived Iraq. Oh. And then she was like, whoa. And nobody wanted to come near me. And net after that, I was like, let me go talk to somebody. You get?
So what was you in hospital for?
PTSD,
because you're in hospital for PTSD.
No, I was just having an anxiety or panic attack, but I just didn't know. Okay. You get me? Like I just went to the hospital and then the ambulance came and got me. And then she said, maybe you have PTSD. And I'm like, I ain't got no PTSD, lady. And then I'm a real Marine, And then I was like, all right, come on, don't be arrogant. Go talk to somebody. So I went to the VA and they set me up with an appointment. But at that time, too many people were talking to the psychiatrist due to the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
So I was getting mad about that. Like, get out the way. I'm a veteran. But I couldn't get no doctor. Yeah. So anyways, I eventually talked to him. And it was a long healing process because I was unpacking a lot of stuff that I just kept pushing forward instead of ever addressing with it. And at that time, I lost my battle buddy around the same year. Like I was going to go visit him finally after like 10 years of not seeing him. And, his PTS got him basically.
Okay.
And it was hard on me. And then that really made things explode and erupt. You get what I'm saying? Like it came out in me, I guess. And so just traveling through that road, it was hard. And one of the things that helped me to heal was like, man, you know, the mind is so amazing because you could create the best rocket ship ever, like Elon Musk with the mind. Yeah. You could create a symphony. You can create this world that we live in. And then if the mind goes this way, you can also take your own life. And so it's so tricky dealing with it like that. And so in that long path of healing, I had to figure out some story, as I said again, narrate my story of how I was going to recover. You get me?
Yes.
Like, because if I get this story wrong, I could do what other people might have done. And you know what I'm saying? Take myself out of the game. And so net, it was a hard thing to deal with. And I never had to deal with that ever before. So the healing process came to me and said, like, bro, your mind controls everything. Yeah. And this story that you're going to give yourself after this, is it going to take the road to recovery or the road to destruction? And so that's what I just say. The mind is very powerful. And if you don't control your thoughts, and if you don't control that mind, then it will control you. So I had this thing where I told people, it's you versus you most of the time, right? Every time you wake up in the morning, there's some voice telling you, go back to sleep, hit the 15. It's not me telling you that. Nick ain't telling you that for sure, right? But it's you telling that. So while you're worried about my friends being bad influence or politics, the biggest influence in your life is that voice that talks to you to tell you to go to sleep, hit the snooze button, get Krispy Kreme donuts, right? And feel depressed about your life because of X, Y, and Z. So the greatest enemy that you have to conquer is your mind.
Sounds like you had a big epiphany / like leveling up moment going through that time, because you're so stable and leveled out now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You haven't got none of that.
No.
So how did you, like, what was the building blocks along with that, as you just mentioned?
I had to, like, I just recreated the story, you know? Like, I was seeing it in a bad way. Like, why did I survive? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I make it? Why me? It was almost a victim kind of slip for a moment. And then I had to say, well, my brothers are gone, but I'm going to live my life for them. And so I had to just recreate the story versus the way I was taking it, the road I was going. And of course, no disrespect to doctors, you know what I'm saying? But they lay it on like, yeah, you screwed, feel sad, get these meds. And then I was actually
victim.
And then actually funny, I was just sitting there listening to Andrew Tate, and he was like, I'm not talking about people with PTSD, but I was like, why not? I could apply still what he was saying to myself. And so net, I was like, you know what? He was just telling me to shut up and get moving and don't sit in my woes. And so even though I was never like that, in that situation, I even fell into it for a slight moment. And then again, I just had to create my own story, work my way out of it.
Total responsibility and just grabbing control of your own life, innit? And again, I love that like picture you paint about painting your own story. How do you want your story to be unfolded? Yes. Beautiful.
So that's how you heal.